Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with,
Christopher.
and we are podcast name in brackets. Hey, Christopher, how are
Hi,
you doing
John.
today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty swell. What about you?
I'm doing good. Do you know that this is our last pod? Yeah, this is our last one.
Let's write against the calendar. How about that?
What do you mean?
Just exactly. It makes no sense.
What do you mean? What are you telling me?
It's something that made no sense, and so it wasn't supposed to have any meaning.
Were you trying to tell me something there? I have
No.
no idea what you just said to me.
Oh, I said let's write against the calendar.
What is that? What?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
What? I have no. Okay. Anyway, this is our last episode of this year. Um, which to me also means the last episode of this third season. So next year
Okay.
we'll be starting season 4. I
Yeah.
decided to make seasons a year.
Okay. How long was the first season?
First season is difficult because that was all of my older uploads.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Oh
I
wait,
don't.
did we? So our thing started with season 2.
Yes, we have started with season 2.
I did not. Okay, gotcha. I did not know that.
I think we did like 40 episodes because it was like at least a year
Mm-hmm.
and a half that we did that
Mm-hmm.
because whatever. And then this past season we started in February. So
All right.
yeah, a much shorter season, but don't worry. Hopefully we'll have more to come.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming we don't rage quit over $15. That's the end of us. We're done.
We'll
You
reach
cost
quit
me
over season
$15,
15.
Christopher. You cost me $15.
I
I'm done.
really did. I really did.
Anyway.
So I'm sorry that you losing $15 means you can't see No Way Home in 17 time. Kidding.
No Way Home. I've only seen it twice.
Same. Same.
Did you see with your friend or was that not yet?
Yes, that was.
Oh, how was that?
Went really well. Really well. For that situation, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But do you want to talk about like seeing the movie a second time?
Yeah. I mean, I saw it with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. I enjoyed it. I wasn't as reactive.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't smiling the entire time, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like I was rewatching it, and like the first like 20 minutes, I'm like, this isn't as good as I remembered. But that's just the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. As soon as we get the older characters,
yes,
and we get all of that juicy plot and lore,
yes,
it's like okay, there you go.
that's
Here's
when
the
it
good
starts
stuff.
getting good.
Yeah, this is probably the only MCU movie that I feel that I can rewatch a lot.
Mm.
Just for partially because of the nostalgia of all the characters, but also just because it's dealing with 20 years of Spider-Man. There's a lot into it, even though it still has its issues. My other podcast friend, I don't think he liked it. In fact,
Really?
in his review, he called it probably the most mediocre MCU movie out there. So we'll have a talk about that. I have to know more on his side, which I think I understand what he means. Yes, the writing is not that great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I see that big issue. But on the other side, I don't think he's as big as a Spider-Man fan as we are.
Yeah.
At least I am.
Right.
And so that's where that goes. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll find out one day. But yeah, we're heading into the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is a couple days ago.
Yes.
Interesting time for sure. I spent it with my grandparents.
Nice. In Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
Oh no, it's fine. It's
Sorry.
fine. Pennsylvania is a
Yeah.
large country.
You say we're not.
It's fine. It's fine. Pennsylvania is a large country. We don't.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter. I think I've said it before, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, I enjoy Pennsylvania.
And so with me, a couple that we were talking about, they invited me to their place for Christmas Eve, along
couple?
with some other people. Huh?
What couple?
That we talked about. That I'm not sure if we mentioned my name on the podcast. So if we didn't, I'm not
Our
gonna.
theater people?
Yeah, the one you told me to say hi to.
I mean, here's the thing. They're
Yeah.
theater people. They need the publicity.
Okay.
So is it Hippie and Brown?
Well, aren't they both hippies now?
Yeah. That way I can help distinguish the two. Yes. So they invite you to their house?
Yeah.
How was that?
It's a wonderful time. Yeah.
Oh.
So they invited me and some other people from Sight and Sound who weren't able to spend Christmas with their families for Christmas Eve to their house. So it was a wonderful time. I really enjoyed it. And then
you should have taken pictures.
They probably took one selfie. I don't have it on hand.
Okay.
I'm not a very picture person, but I met someone. I didn't realize who he was related to. I don't remember his first name, but do you remember Kellum at Liberty? He was the lead of
Randall Kellum?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I met his brother was there.
Older?
Younger? I would think. I'm not positive.
I don't know a younger Kellum. Unless he didn't come to Liberty.
I don't think he did.
Okay, that probably makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, first off, he had a brother. So, like, we follow each other on social media afterwards, and I looked, and I'm like, wait, huh? And I recognized Brandon Kellum and his wife, who both went to Liberty. So I'm like, oh, wow. Who would have known? So that was a cool time. So, yeah, younger Kellum is in Branson.
Nice people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the hippies.
Yeah. You should just like stop your college career, just come out to Sight and Sound and
stop my college career. Come to Sight and Sound. Well, I only have 3 semesters left. That sounds like a great plan, Christopher. A great plan. I'm gonna stop so soon. All that money and scholarships down the drain.
Yes. And for what? To see your old friends.
Just to see my old friends.
Hey, summer plans.
Summer plans. I don't know what I'm doing in the summer. Yeah. So.
Well, you're going. Oh, did you get your ticket?
For what?
Weird Al?
I'm not going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going. I thought long and hard about it. Plus just getting the website to get the ticket was just too complicated.
Uh-huh.
And so it really just came down to, you know what, this is a lot of money that I could be putting towards something else.
Like your college career.
That or the missionary trip that my classmates are going on.
Oh, okay.
They were going on. They were going to Ecuador. But that's not happening, so they're going to go to California instead.
Okay.
Cheaper, but it's fine. It makes sense. I was wondering how they were even going to do that, considering all the things I know about the country in this current COVID state. But yeah, Christmas at the end of the year. 2021 is gonna be over.
Okay, well, one quick question about Weird Al. So you're not doing VIP.
I'm
You're
not doing
not.
the regular triggers as well.
Okay, gotcha. I was curious
Yeah,
if it was okay,
I don't.
gotcha.
I don't really need to. And you know, as fun as that is, just
You
going
just
to a
want the photo. That's all you wanted.
just going to a concert isn't my thing. You know,
Yeah, that is not your
unless
thing.
someone else invites me and has a ticket for me, sure, I'll do that.
Uh-huh.
But if I were to do it, you know, I want to meet the person.
Okay.
The reason why I went to Animaniacs was because it was right there.
Right.
It was right there. So if Weird Al was in Lynchburg, heck yeah, I would go.
Okay.
But since he's
That's fair.
not, he's like at least an hour away from each place.
That
And
is fair.
yeah, I'm not familiar with those specific cities and how their traffic works. I'm not gonna do that. So
Okay.
I'm gonna wait. Maybe one day it'll happen. It'll be much cheaper.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Not really much of a plan. It's just like, not gonna do it.
All right. So what were you saying?
Well, we had you know, it's Christmas. It happened. Lovely time.
Yes.
Half of my family got sick the day before.
Oh no.
And so they couldn't come to our Christmas celebration.
Oh.
So that's a shame. I didn't get to see them this year. But yeah, it really didn't really feel like Christmas until we actually opened up presents. Like yeah, because it's like the weather was not Christmassy. We had no
Right.
snow. It was actually pretty warm.
Same.
Like even with some decorations here and there, like I just wasn't really feeling it like I was last year.
Yeah.
Maybe because I just didn't really care. Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we're doing this again. But yeah, we did that. We're gonna visit my other set of family.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of traveling. It is. It's long driving.
Yeah.
I don't like that because I just sit in the car and listen to music.
Hey, at least you got music. I wasn't even sure if you were going to do that.
You know, like I listen to music while I'm also napping at the same time.
Uh-huh.
It's just it's much longer. I used to have a portable DVD player that I would watch like stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
I actually still have it. It's in my desk right here. But I don't know. I just stopped doing that because I was more patient and I just didn't like the hassle anymore. So yeah, that's how that
You could
is.
download stuff to your phone.
No, downloading no. It's too much work.
Really?
And then say about data. It's too complicated for me, Christopher. It's much easier for me to get my old 10-year-old portable DVD player. Watch it there.
You're too complicated for me, John.
Yeah, I'm very complicated. I should very well watch something on this next trip, but I don't think I will. I think it'd make the trip so much easier than just sitting for more hours napping while I'm listening to music that I'm not really feeling.
You're a strange one, Mr. Lennon.
I am very strange. By the way, I finally watched Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
I watched it with my mom so that we can get context for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We're halfway through Hawkeye right now. Black Widow was very mediocre.
It is. I started to because last night.
Here's the thing: the movie's not bad. It's not terrible, but it's just meh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't understand how people think it's an amazing film.
Seriously.
It's not. It
It's
really
not.
isn't. Like the villain, I thought, if I thought the villain was weak just from knowing the plot twist with the villain
Mhm.
and knowing who the villain is in the comics, it's even more weak because they did absolutely nothing with that villain.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, that villain needed 20 more scenes of being a nuisance and actually doing good stuff, evil stuff.
Mhm.
Instead, nah. Let's just not.
Yeah, here's the thing. The more it was funny when I walked out of the theater, I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad. And then the more I thought about the movie, the more I hated it.
Mm.
And it just, when you really think about it, it's like the most formulaic MCU movie using all the old MCU tropes.
Yeah. It's also very
Um,
underwhelming.
It is. It's very sad that this is Black Widow's not just final release, but only solo release.
Right.
It's very sad that this is what it had to be. And honestly, if you think about it, like the first 15 minutes almost promised something decent. But it was soon as we hit 2016, it
Like
just
almost. Almost. But
almost.
even then, I felt like that was just way too quick.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is the fact that they should have gone in a different direction with this.
Yeah, they
Like
should have.
it's so ironic how like it really seems like many times they're scared to I can't think of the words, but I mean like Guardians of the Galaxy was so different. It was a risk. That's what. And the Marvel is scared to do risks, but it's usually the risks that seem to pay off.
Right. I think this film was more so made because there was a demand for it versus they
Yeah,
actually had anything to do with it. Besides
yeah.
introducing Elena, which even then,
That was I have to say the only good part about the movie because I like the character.
right, even though I feel like they are two different characters from the movie and the show,
Oh, you
Hawkeye.
do?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like Yelena is very underpowered in the show.
Hmm.
Because in the movie, she is willing to die jumping onto the airplane, blowing it
Right.
up, falling down. We're here. As soon as Kate Bishop points an arrow at her, she's like, "No, I'm gonna zip out of here." You get what I'm saying? Like to complete her mission. Like
Uh-huh.
one, she had determination. I'm gonna blow this guy up. I'm gonna jump off of this destroying air carrier. I go to skydive. It's like, Clint Barton, he's on the ground. He's weary. He's almost unconscious. Here's my chance to kill him. Oh, here's a noob. I'm gonna go away now. You know, when you look at it from that perspective,
Uh-huh. Well, it's
it
also just a weird way that I feel like either movies or TV shows have this weird suspension moment where you have to write it a certain way to make your story happen, and it's annoying. You
it's not
know?
so much writing a certain way. It's also just like appeasing your fans
Hmm.
for like a cliffhanger moment,
Yeah.
which
Especially the TV shows are all about the cliffhanger
which
moments.
yes, Hawkeye. We had the finale with Kingpin,
Yes. Yes.
which um is very conflicting for me.
If it wasn't for Kingpin, this would have been the most satisfactory finale.
I I wouldn't even say that. I would say
Really?
I think Kingpin helped give it some kind of here's our big character to have because I didn't care at all about Maya
Same.
throughout the entire series. Yelena, um, she kind of just entered too late in the game for me
I,
to really
I get that.
yeah bore. So that's like past halfway through the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so her story, to me at that point, was not their important setup.
Right.
Really, for Kingpin, this was the most poorly handled thing I've seen of him.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing,
because they don't
Okay, go on.
don't set him up at all about who
Yeah.
this character is. It's just like, okay, here's his here's this big fat white guy who's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's apparently the big guy in the big guy in the show. Why do we care? I don't know. They gave no reason for us to think like, oh, this guy's bad news. Versus, you go back to the Daredevil TV show. They set him up each episode, not revealing him until the 4th episode. In each episode, you find out a little bit more. You find out that the people who are working for him are so terrified that if they betray him just by saying his name, like, it's over for them. Like, they'll be like, oh no, he's going to come after me and kill my family, so I'm going to kill myself just so he doesn't do that. It's so intense until you finally meet him in the 4th episode. And he's like, oh, he's not that bad of a guy. You know, he's just shy. And then later in the episode, he's on a date. One of the guys who's partners with him interrupts the date because he's mad about Daredevil. To which later, at the end of the episode, Kingpin is mad about being embarrassed for the date to the point where he decapitates the guy with a car door. And that's where you really find out, oh, okay, this guy's bad news.
Yeah.
Here, there's nothing. It's like Kingpin shows up at the end of episode 5, and if you had no context of Kingpin from the Daredevil show,
Right.
he just shows up. It's like, who dis?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why is he so strong? He got hit by an arrow, shoves it off. Hit by a car, shoves it off. Blown up, shoves it off. Who dis? Who is this guy? Yeah. And so,
because like that's essentially me. Like I knew Kingpin is a big deal, but like there are some people who are only watching the MCU and not invested in Twitter drama, and so they watch this, and this is they literally like. I bet Kingpin has a future in the MCU that could establish him better. But the thing is, this was supposed to be the establishing moment, and they didn't do that.
They had no establishment for him,
this
which made the ending of the episode with Maya like no emotion when she spoilers, quote unquote, shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
Kills him, quote unquote. Which when that happens, like, what? They didn't just bring him back just to do that. Mm-hmm. Really? And then, everyone's like, oh, don't worry, he's fine. Comics. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that makes more sense. But even then, Maya, like, they built her up in the first few episodes. Then they completely forgot about her until the very end. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's like, oh, why is she doing this? Why is she killing that guy? I don't know. I guess she's here now, too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I have no care to watch her show except to see more Kingpin if he's there. Yeah. Like, if Hawkeye is the lowest rated show, lowest viewed show, imagine Echo.
Yeah.
Imagine Echo. That's not going to go so well. Even though I did love seeing the actor for Kingpin to come back. He's way more powerful in that small bit than we actually saw him before. But it's also just very uncharacteristic of him to actually show up and physically do stuff on himself, because he would never do that. He'd have someone else do it because he cannot be seen doing this. Here, he's out in public. Like, oh, no one's... He's... What? How? Why? No. It was just... poorly handled, and that's why that's what I was saying to you. Oh, he was probably like a last minute re-edit of the script just to have him the setup for Echo. Because I do think when they were doing Black Widow, they were originally going to do Yelena and Maya, but then they got the rights to the Kingpin and Daredevil again. It's like, you know what? Let's change this show now to include him. We'll have like one or two scenes in each episode to tease him all the way through. I could be wrong about this.
But you could be really right.
But that's how that's how they can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering Daredevil's the last thing they put into it because the rights of the character. Yeah, and then we also had confirmation that the characters Sandman and Lizard were reused footage.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when I watched the movie the second time, it's like, oh, okay, that's definitely reused footage.
Yeah.
I clearly see it the second time.
Just back to Hawkeye. Why I say it's the most satisfactory finale is because, like, especially coming off the Loki finale, where there were only like 2 minutes of fighting and 45 minutes of exposition, the fact that essentially the whole finale of Hawkeye was pure fighting was satisfactory in that sense.
And Hawkeye, I enjoyed the show the most out of all the other ones.
Yes.
Although I still haven't finished Falcon and Winter Soldier, so I can't say anything about that. WandaVision, I still like the concept.
Same.
I have to go back and watch it again, even though, yeah, there's just not enough. Loki. Yeah, I rewatched Loki again with my mom.
Oh, did you?
It was terrible. Oh my gosh. It was the most boring each episode watch with my mom. Like, my mom was like, so, like, why is this important?
Yeah, especially episodes 3 and 5.
Yeah, like to the point where I was skipping like large scenes.
Wow.
Of just like nothingness, because I knew there was nothing important in those scenes.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like I kept telling my mom, "Oh, don't worry, we'll get some cool stuff in each episode." And like I'm watching the episodes, like, huh, I remember there being more action in this.
Yeah.
And there wasn't. It's like, oh, the action's only like 30 seconds long.
And the sad part is that the choreography in the show is so sad.
It wasn't even amazing. And then we get to the finale. It's like, the finale is really the only reason to watch the show, because it sets up the reasoning why we have all this other stuff. But it's also just, Did we need to watch the entire show to get to that point? No.
No.
So, yeah, that was just, it was shocking. I knew that I didn't care for Loki, but watching it again, I have no idea why that's their favorite show. Seriously. I have no idea. It's so boring.
It really should have just made it a movie.
You're right. Yeah.
Should have made it a movie. 2.5 hours. Damn.
Maybe only an hour. Like, I don't think it even needs 2.5 hours or even 2 hours. It's just, there's not enough.
And somehow they were able to stretch all this to 5 hours.
Somehow.
My mind.
But anyway, Hawkeye is the most enjoyable yet. I don't know why it's the least watched, even though I can probably see why, because it's like, it was more of like, I didn't know it was coming out this year until the trailer came out. It's like, oh wait, that's this year? I thought we were done with those shows for this year. Because they were heavily advertising Wanda, Falcon, and Loki for months before we finally got it. And then Hawkeye was just like, oh, a couple months of trailers. Here we go. Yeah. Here's the show. But yeah, the trailer.
Oh, actually, what if it's worse than Loki? Personal opinion.
Show-wise,
Show-wise. Now, What If had 2 good episodes, the one with Doctor Strange and the one with Thor. The rest are terrible stories.
the thing is, I'd personally say that What If is better than Loki, just
Okay.
because each episode offers something different, versus Loki offered me nothing at all throughout the entire show. Like,
That's-
at least What If gave me different ideas. What if? Sorry. At least What If gave me different
Mhm.
ideas. Loki, they had the idea of a good idea, but they never did anything. They did absolutely nothing with the concept that they gave us. It's like, here's this concept of the TVA and all this stuff and time travel.
Seriously, I feel like the only reason why they did the TV show is because we have a second season. Shut up.
Yeah, and then What If? I think I enjoyed better just because one, there was action in each episode.
Sure.
Two, each episode was different. You know, there was something to look forward to each week with
Yeah.
like the different concepts. Different. You can forgive some aspects of it because you can say it's meant for a younger audience, even though that's not an excuse. Yeah. Plus, like, it offers huge things like Ultron, the
True.
Doctor Strange.
The Doctor Strange episode is seriously, I believe, one of the best MCU releases, period.
Right. And then there's a reason for all the episodes to connect together by the finale.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Versus
So, so super curious. The Doctor Strange teaser trailer.
Yes.
Um,
That came out.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the mixture of the Marvel logos.
What?
Did you watch the trailer?
I watched the trailer. Was the logo different?
Yeah. Well, not only the Doctor Strange logo, but at the beginning with the Marvel logo.
What was different?
They like combined like all 3 Marvel logos that they've used for the movies.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh my gosh, it was so obvious.
Wow.
It was like a multiverse is breaking type combining.
I didn't see that. It wasn't important to me.
It was cool to me. Anyways, but do you think that the alternate Doctor Strange is the one from What If or a different one?
That's a good question. I would like to say it's the same one. Although they could do in live action much shorter. And this is our villain. It's I don't know. Because it would be a really bold thing to do to bring that into live action. Something that only Star Wars has done. So we'll see.
Because I've had the suspicion this whole time that What If was essentially the prequel for Multiverse Madness.
It could be possible the What If is kind of like the
Spider-Man movies to No Way Home.
No.
No?
I think that What If is more of a there's a word for it. It's a concept, storyboard, animatic. Let's just say What If is kind of the storyboard leading up to the Doctor Strange movies, where maybe not everything seen in the episodes actually occurred,
Right.
or what's going on in the story, but they give you an idea of what the story could be like. I don't know if that makes sense, but the best example I can give is Star Wars. So Star Wars, there's the convoluted thing where we had the old Star Wars thing that Disney replaced when they created their Star Wars So all the books that have been going on for 30 years, they're like, we'll just start over. We're not gonna give them royalties. And so we're gonna start a new canon timeline. So in Star Wars, essentially, sometimes you fill in the pieces with the old stuff, and they allow that to be the thing. They're not actually canon there, but they give you an idea of how that would work. Versus that's actually how it works. It's confusing, but it allows you to understand if you know it.
It is confusing, but
Yeah,
I'm
like
getting the gist of what you're saying.
Okay, so what if is kind of like this is our concept for the multiverse. So the evil Doctor Strange, this is our concept for how he could appear in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Versus in the movie he might be less powerful than what we saw him in the show. With all that crazy animation and stuff.
Right.
It's kind of like that. Like the animated cartoons for the shows. That's how we see those characters come to life. Those things can be inspiration to how we could set them up in real life. It's it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So, is the show officially canon in the MCU? I would like to think so. Just so I don't waste my time.
Yeah. I will. So, like with the specific reveal at the end, looking at it, I struggle to see the resemblance to What If character.
Really, yeah, I saw that too. It's like, okay, I think that's him. Like, I'm pretty sure that's him. What's missing is the large cape, which he's not wearing at that moment.
I will say this: earlier in the trailer, there is a scene of Doctor Strange and like the dragons coming out of him for a split second.
I was thinking that too.
I would think that at least is the What If Doctor Strange.
I don't know if that is the case.
Okay.
It's possible that Doctor Strange may have had other things that weren't that evil he controlled. That could just be like a random spell versus releasing the dragons, because they were more like tiny snakes. Thick snakes than tiny dragons.
Live action.
Sure. They showed off the world melting almost exactly how it looked like in What If. Which is a clue. Which is a clue. That they could retell the story. Or it's possible that they'll recreate moments of the show in live action, or the threat of that world has now come into ours, and that's the big threat that they're facing.
Bro, seriously, what you're saying about like recreating the episode, that seriously could be the case.
It's not so much like recreating the entire episode, more like
not the entire, but the concept of the
important
ancient
moments.
one, like splitting the Doctor Stranges, and then they fight against each other.
Right. If we actually see that, maybe not seeing the actual scene, but like images of that, where like they start, like they talk about a thing, they start a fight, then it cuts to the end of the fight where he consumes him. Like that could be a way how you're telling the backstory versus actually showing it all, because you can just watch the Doctor Strange episode.
Right.
So really, they should try and incentivize us to watch the Doctor Strange episode versus just putting the entire thing back to life.
And honestly, just in general, incentivize people to watch What If, because there are a lot of people who are like, I'm not watching What If because number one, it's not canon, number two, it's animated.
Right. So for my mom, I just showed her the Doctor Strange episode for context for the trailer. Because she's not going to watch the show because she didn't really care for animated stuff. Which is, that's how people are.
Right.
I don't really like this animation, which is true. It was pretty weak until we actually get to the flashy parts. But yeah.
Man, I did not intend to get excited for Doctor Strange this soon. Gosh darn it.
See,
Why did we have to call?
I'm not really that excited yet.
I get that.
Yeah, until like we get more details.
Here's the thing: they're cramming so much into this movie. It's like,
So
what
yeah,
are they
like
gonna do?
we
That's the
received,
thing.
yeah, like they revealed that they're doing some reshoots and adding more cameos. They specifically said cameos, which is like, oh, okay. So they're
I
doing
mean, it's the
stuff,
multiverse. You kind of have to.
bigger things than what we see in Spider-Man. But I don't think it can be.
You're not, in terms of box office, you're not going to top Spider-Man. But in terms of a movie, this is legitimately a bigger movie
Right.
than Spider-Man.
I don't know if it can be a bigger movie than Spider-Man. It's like, so what if they bring the
It's
X-Men
bigger in terms of
so
featured people.
right. If they
Not-
feature the X-Men in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a bigger deal than having this Spider-Man come in.
Correct.
Because really it hasn't been so long since we've seen those characters.
And not to mention that the Spider-Man actually had, I feel like, a bigger impact on people's childhoods than
Right, because the last time we saw Tobey's Spider-Man was in 2007. The last time we saw Garfield was in 2014, which left us with like, oh, we still need more. Versus the X-Men, the last time we saw the main set of X-Men was in 2014 versus Wolverine, which we last saw in 2017. And our last set of the prequel characters in 2019 or 2018, which they appear people would be excited to see them, but it's not like, oh, this is a big deal. It's more like, oh,
the only big deal is the fact that X-Men being in the MCU.
It'd be more exciting if they brought in the old Blade from his movie, the old Daredevil, the not so good one. If they bring like the not so good ones, the older ones, into this, I'd be more exciting because you wouldn't expect that.
Right.
Bring in the 2003 Hulk.
Actually, there's rumors about that.
Cool. Maybe even the older Hulk, the painted one.
That would be amazing.
It would be. The actor's still alive. Like, he can. I think he's still buff enough.
That's
At least he was 10 years ago. That would be amazing.
That would seriously be, just like for the hilarity of it, amazing.
Create their own, like, classic-looking characters in their costumes, like classic Loki when he appeared in the show. And Loki.
This movie is legitimately going to be bonkers. Like, how much they're trying to squeeze into it.
See, the thing is, I don't know anything about it, really. Which is great.
Right. I mean, I don't... Here's the thing. Because Spider-Man was a Sony production, a lot more has been leaked and, dare I say, confirmed.
So, like,
there's a lot with Doctor Strange that's really still in rumor stage. That's not been very confirmed. But all these possibilities, and despite that, just what it seems like it's going to be is just ridiculously bonkers.
Right. So, like, I'm not really thinking about Doctor Strange until he comes out in May. Or it's until they give us a new trailer where they actually show us more stuff. Which, I don't know if they're actually going to reveal big stuff. Or if they do, it tells us, oh, there's more coming.
I will say... Now, this seems like a diversion, but it's not really. Looking at, like, Hawkeye, they didn't build up Kingpin. Oh, no, they did. They didn't, and they did. My bad. Okay, that is a terrible example. Here's my thing. My thing is that if the main quote cameos are going to be from the X-Men, and X-Men something impacts the MCU in this movie, I want to know in terms of how much should I watch of the old X-Men movies. I've complained about this before, and I'll complain about it again.
I think there is actually one confirmed cameo that's not officially confirmed, but I think is almost a guarantee.
And who's this? You said
Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Deadpool is going to appear in that movie. He has to.
I
I think that makes the most sense.
It does. And for Deadpool, I'm not going to stress about watching his movies.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I will say, I've been hearing that Dr. X is going to be in it.
Dr. X. Professor X, you mean
Professor X, I'm sorry.
We don't call him X. We just call him Xavier because they don't call him Professor X in the movies.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I get what you mean. Patrick Stewart, that'd be interesting. He's quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they doing the younger guy? That's the big question.
I could send you what I saw. I don't have it on the top of my head.
Fans would like to see the older guy more because they love that actor. I would agree. Although, for me, it might make more sense to bring the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Anyways, I'm only getting excited about it because we're talking about it. I want peace in my life until May.
Huh. Let's see. I mean, there's a Batman coming in March.
Yeah, which they don't care about.
That's fine. That's more of a me thing. I'll watch that.
And you got your Star Wars Boba Fett thing.
Yeah, that's coming. Oh yeah, I'll be busy with that.
You'll be busy with all of that, and I'll be busy with X-Men.
Yeah, this next year there's a lot of stuff coming that I'm not really thinking about at the moment.
Isn't Spider-Verse next year? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. That's coming too.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming next year because things are pushed back. But yeah. Next year is definitely, for me, more of a big DC year. I guess big for Marvel with Doctor Strange. But I don't know much else.
We got Thor and Black Panther.
Black Panther's next year too?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd care to see that one.
That's actually the funny thing. The Doctor Strange and Thor, I'll be able to see on preview night. The Black Panther, I won't be able to. Okay. And with all those three things, I'm fine with because I feel like I can wait till Sunday to watch Black Panther. Because
I think for me, Black Panther is like, since we don't have Chadwick Boseman, and since they're not going to recast him, it's like I don't really care to have another lead character because I don't really care about any of the other characters.
I like Shuri. So
I can care a little about Shuri.
From what I'm seeing about rumors, there's two potential ways they could go with Black Panther. So I'm intrigued with what's going to happen. But in terms of actual movies, I'm more excited about Doctor Strange and Thor.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't watch Black Panther till later.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the first one when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think at that point I wasn't watching a lot of movies. But yeah, no.
And then our first Disney Plus show for Marvel is Moon Knight.
Is that the next one?
Yeah, that's the next one. I again with Marvel, I'm just eating what they give me. I'm not excited for it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they're gonna do it, what they're gonna do.
Yeah, Marvel's doing a lot. I'm starting to see a pattern where these shows, like, they keep teasing big things, but then they don't deliver. And especially with the shows, because then people are starting to realize, oh, why am I anticipating so much? Obviously, it's not going to do it because it's smaller budget and it's cheaper.
Really, the shows I feel like are setups for the movies.
Yeah.
Introduce characters.
I mean, they could also just be filler. Like filler for the in-between.
Mm-hmm. So this is crazy. So I think Iron Man to Endgame is about 3,000 minutes. The amount of content that Marvel released in 2021 was 2,000 minutes plus.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
The TV shows are becoming a problem if people want to binge because they take so much hours to useful. Not stuff.
And now I'm getting scared about Star Wars. Not to mention we already have the Clone Wars to binge.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. I mean, see, Star Wars is more different because a lot of the Marvel stuff, at least their shows, or seems more filler to set up for the next thing. Whereas Star Wars, they'll try and tell a story. I don't know about Boba Fett. Never mind. I'm excited for Boba Fett.
I will say with Marvel, a friend of mine who's into the comics, he's looking at this new stage of Marvel as it really is more for the comic book fans than anything else.
It's for comic book fans and the woke people. That's the two things.
So, I mean, it possibly could come around where it will bring back a lot of old people to see where they're going with this. But at the same time, like, who cares about Moon Knight? I mean, that was probably what the same people were saying with like Guardians of the Galaxy. But still, like, it's just right now.
Yeah,
but the comic book fans are like, oh my gosh, Moon Knight. You know what I mean?
Is something strange. Is Marvel is releasing all of these new characters and such. And it's like, okay, I can care so little about Monica Rambeau. And then Loki, we got Sylvie. I guess that's an important character. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. We have Kate Bishop, which I actually like Kate.
Thank you! Yay!
I think that's the most successful thing they've done. Is giving us Kate Bishop.
Yes.
Like, yeah, she's a good character.
Kate Bishop is my favorite new Phase 4 character.
What?
Kate Bishop is my favorite new Phase 4 character.
Phase 4, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Kate. I was so worried about her from the trailers. Yeah. Trailers bad. But
she seems so annoying in the trailers.
Like, she'd be like, oh no, they're pushing this character. It's like, oh no, we actually like this character. We didn't even talk about her in the finale. I love the ending with her and Clint and with meeting the family. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, that's great. She has a new family now.
Yes. I love that. Okay, now speaking about the finale and family, did you notice the number on the watch?
Yes, so we did have a little bit of a discussion on this.
Oh yeah, we did.
With like text discussion.
Yeah, I forgot.
Whereas I was saying it's like, oh, well, this kind of bums out Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans in that this kind of retcons their character, who was supposed to be the same character. And then, of course, we were sharing articles and stuff. It's like, oh, okay.
Here's the thing. With all you Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, Netflix fans, essentially anything before WandaVision is not canon. Period.
It's not canon until they say it is. Like, that's how I take it.
That's... I'll say you have the best perspective out of like most of the people out there, but I legitimately believe like it's just not canon. Like I will have some enjoyment that when I go through the MCU, I'm gonna watch the 2003 Hulk before I watch the 2008 Hulk just because the story kind of flows. Does not mean the 2003 Hulk is canon to the storyline of the MCU. But it works in terms of the general story.
That's part of the example that I was saying. Even though the 2003 Hulk isn't canon to the MCU, it helps give you like an understanding of the 2008 Hulk and how we got there.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
But yeah, so just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, want to love you. Whatever. What I mean is, it's just not.
It's
not
so
canon.
yeah. It's like it's really not canon until it becomes canon. Like that's
But
the thing I had to think about.
here's the thing. But with Daredevil and Kingpin, there whatever happened in the Netflix stuff, from what I'm seeing,
It's
is
not canon.
not the case in the MCU.
It's not
They
canon.
brought back the actors because the fans loved them and they did a good job.
Yeah,
They're like,
and
oh, let's introduce them
so how
into the
did your
MCU.
friend respond to Daredevil? Like, what did he say about him?
In No Way Home,
Yes.
he hasn't been able to see. Oh wait. Oh, that friend. Sorry, I thought we were talking about my comic book friend. That friend. I haven't told him.
Oh, he doesn't know anything about that character?
Yeah, I am.
Was he
I
confused why people were cheering?
The theater barely cheered.
Oh, okay.
I
It's one of
know.
those times. Yeah, okay.
When I went the second time, it was a sucky crowd. I mean, obviously there were the obligatory cheers for Garfield and Maguire, but it was really
Yeah,
depressing.
it was kind of similar with ours. Like, they cheered a little bit more, but it's like, I think for your crowd, it was probably people watching it again.
Maybe, or it's
Uh,
also just Branson.
I don't know. I don't know. I think for me, it tends to be people will watch a movie again, and because I don't cheer as much the second
Right.
time. I didn't even cheer the
Hmm.
first time. But it's like,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I just
we had a few like gasps or whatever, but that was it. And his appearance in No Way Home isn't significant enough that he'd remember and ask about it. So,
okay.
from what I'm hearing, he's appearing in She-Hulk, and then by that time, maybe he will start to catch
He's
on to
appearing
something.
in She-Hulk.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, well that makes sense because she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
He really needs to appear in Echo because in the comics, like
Okay, this is what I'm hearing.
he's not. But
No. Yes, but no, not just that. They're bringing in the Daredevil writers for Echo.
oh,
That's what I've heard. I've only saw it from one place, so I have yet to see it like double confirmed. If that's the case, that's going to make Echo more worth seeing, in my opinion.
yes and no. Yes, because I believe those writers are competent.
Yes.
No, because I think they'll be pushed by the studio to write a different way.
That's fair.
But no, because I want Daredevil in Echo because in the comics, Echo is Daredevil's sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I heard. Um, so it really makes sense to have Daredevil there because like she's deaf, he's blind. It makes sense. Like they can do stuff together. That it'd be interesting. But
That'll be so interesting.
yeah, like they've not introduced him as Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Um, the Marvel Netflix shows again are more of a you have to watch them to understand why their appearance is exciting.
Right.
And I believe that's why they were counting on that. Because just seeing Daredevil, if you had no idea who he is, in that movie's like, so why is that lawyer catching the thing? That's
Yeah.
weird. Okay. I don't
So
know.
I'm gonna have fun, like sitting in the background and watching my friend be like, "Oh my gosh, that was building up to this." Like, more like they built up to it and then like started from the beginning again, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
It's. I'm really intrigued to see if he's gonna find it cool or stupid.
Oh, yeah. My mom, she was happy to see Daredevil again.
Aw.
Like when he showed up, like she chuckled. It's like, oh, because like we watched the show together.
Yeah.
When it was coming out, so that was nice. I was really
Nice.
excited. I was probably most excited to see her reaction to Daredevil than the other two, because like that's the one that we watched the most.
Yeah.
I have to see what her reaction is to Kingpin. We're gonna watch that tonight.
Nice.
Yes, so that's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think she caught the episode 3 moment with that brief moment where he chuckles and pinches her cheeks. Like, she didn't say anything, but like after that, she's like, "Is that who I think it is?" And then I think she completely forgot about it. So we'll see.
Okay. So have you guys seen episode 4 yet?
Yes. Yes, we were watching, and then we were watching, and then you texted me in 40 minutes. It's like, okay.
Okay.
So we're pausing to do this podcast.
Does she like Yelena or not?
I have no idea. I didn't ask.
Okay. And so here's one thing I'm struggling with, and I guess this is something to explore later. But at the end of Black Widow, it was Val who hired Yelena. But in Hawkeye, Yelena says that Kate Bishop's mom hired her.
So I think it's like Kate Bishop hires Val, who I guess is in charge of giving missions or something. I think it's more of a chain of command thing versus a direct hiring someone.
Yeah.
Because that would make more sense.
Then does this mean that Val works for Kingpin?
I don't. It's not so much that Val works for Kingpin. It's more like they're an organization of assassins. They're definitely hired to do stuff. You know what's very unexplained in this show?
What?
Jack.
I don't like Jack.
It's like, I want to like Jack.
Really? Well, good for you.
It's like, I want to like Jack. Or just, at least, like, I want something to happen with Jack. Because nothing happened with Jack. It was like they're setting so much, focusing so much on Jack, and nothing happened. Nothing.
It was essentially the Ralph Boner of Hawkeye.
Right. They never. Well, except that one's more egregious because of who they got to play the character. True. But this one was just like, did we just forget about that plot line? Yeah. Like,
it's like, guys, oh yeah, not a big deal.
So who murdered that guy with a sword? We don't know.
No, it was Kate Bishop's mom.
Well, we don't know that. They never actually confirmed that.
That's what she admitted to.
Well, you know, it's weird.
It is weird.
It's really weird because like it would make sense because her house is full of swords. It's not that difficult, but it's also like, so what? Jack, like, he just looks so guilty.
He really does.
And they do nothing with that. He shows up at the end, fighting with his swords, killing a bunch of guys. Which, you know, it's cool. At least he was doing something. I was happy that he was doing something and not just... He did more than Ralph did, essentially.
True.
But even still, like, they did nothing with his character. And, like, they set him up, I think, more than they did Maya. Essentially. Maya and Yelena. They had payoffs to no setup. He had nothing and all the setup.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
When does your mom leave?
So they'll leave. So, New Year's Day, they'll travel. Yes.
Dang it! Because I was hoping it'd be a few more weeks so that you guys could watch Eternals, and then I was curious of your thoughts.
Oh, no.
Because here's the thing, like, I went into it with lower than no expectations, and I came out saying that wasn't too bad. See, I am really dying to know if you're going to love it or hate. No, you're not going to love it. I'm wondering if you're going to say, okay, that was decent, or that was terrible. I have no idea what you're going to think.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to watch it when it comes on Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting for it. But yeah. I don't know if I'd immediately show that to her if she stayed.
Okay, that's fair. I guess you kind of want an idea of it first.
I want an idea. Well, it's more so like, is there a reason why this is important to show her at this moment?
Fair. That's fair.
Like maybe further down the line when it becomes important, I'll show it to her. I not like we'll probably most likely watch it in the summer, like
Okay.
as a thing to watch, because
Right.
that's what we do together. It's just watch stuff. Not so
Okay.
much to actually want to, but because we just want to spend time together. That's how we do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, whenever that happens, again, there's no rush. But when you do, you do. And let me know when you do, I guess.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it next month, so
Okay, sweet. Because I need someone to tell me if I'm sane or not, essentially.
okay. And then hopefully we'll watch Shang-Chi this week.
Oh, okay. Then
Hopefully.
I'm really curious. I think I'm
Like,
hoping she likes it. I don't know what you're gonna think. I hope she
I
likes
want
it.
to like it. I want to like it, but
Okay,
we'll see.
that makes me happy that you want to like it.
Mm-hmm. You know, like it seems different enough,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's in the style that I could like it. So we'll see.
Do you like the Cobra Kai series? Is that what you were
Cobra
watching or
Kai,
not?
Cobra Kai and Shang-Chi. Okay, that's interesting.
Because what? It's martial arts, right?
So you see, yes, I don't think for what I saw in the trailer, it's related to Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, yes,
The only thing I'm
it's
pulling is martial arts. Okay.
sure. I think they're more inspired by stuff
Lee.
like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan,
Okay.
and their
Sorry.
spy action movies
Okay.
full
Yeah,
of
I really
great
don't.
choreography versus a show about growing stronger in karate and how it reflects in your life.
Okay. Yes. Then Bruce Lee. That's what I meant.
Yes, it's like, that might not be the most exciting movie to watch if it's related to Cobra Kai, even though Cobra Kai is not a bad show either.
Okay.
It's two different things. Different
Okay.
things.
I've been educated.
Yes. So Christmas happened.
Yes.
We got gifts. Anything big for you?
Not big that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm just thankful to get some things, you know.
Yeah,
You're an adult, you don't expect to get anything.
at least one thing. You know, you hope for at least one
Yeah,
thing.
you hope for at least one thing.
Most likely. Yeah, I got a couple Legos.
Okay.
That was nice.
Did you get said name? You can't remember.
Bionicle.
Bionicles.
I bought one. Yeah,
Well,
but
you mentioned that last time.
that wasn't related to Christmas. That was
Okay.
just like I bought it for some reason.
Because you wanted it.
I do that, you know.
Yeah.
I'll just buy it for some reason, and I did. Um, but no, other Lego stuff that I got. One was like a '60s Batman Lego set,
Nice.
which was the reason why I would want it because of '60s Batman.
Right.
Um, I got this because it was cheap as well. It was the classic
Nice.
Wonder Woman show, which you know I'm building that collection of older stuff. I also got something that's merchandise creator. I got a beanie.
That's cute.
Yes. The content creator is Crumb or Cuptoast, who's a sort of gamer, animator, artist. It's well, she's more of a personality more than anything. But yeah, I saw the beanie. It's like, oh, that's a great design. I gotta get it, so I got it.
Yeah. Yay.
Yes.
I got a blender.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
What a good Christmas gift. I'm happy
exactly.
for you.
I mean, it wasn't what I was expecting, but hey, I guess it come in handy. So,
I got a book.
you love books.
I don't read them, but I got it. Yeah, my bookshelf. I have to reorganize it again. Running out of space. Gotta start selling stuff again.
Yay! We love selling stuff.
Yeah, that's the. More thoughts on the finale. So the final action scene. One thing that I wasn't.
Which final action scene? I'm sorry.
Sorry, Hawkeye
Okay.
finale. I was confused as to why they thought it was necessary to chop down a tree.
Yeah.
Because
I think this is cool. We have to do it.
yeah, I felt like it was more so they need to do a cool stunt like that. Because
Yeah.
I felt like Hawkeye could scale down that thing super easily.
You would think.
Like, because I know, like he can. We've seen him do similar stuff like that before. So it's like, why did that have to happen? I know Kate's young and all, but why did Hawkeye just hang there for like 5 minutes talking to an owl? By the way, that owl killed people with the shrunken truck. That was hilarious. And I was also like, what? Like they're just gonna let that happen? What?
I mean, they killed other people, so I guess so.
Right, man. Kate Bishop.
Oh man, that was so funny because
she's so shocked to see a dead body, but she never reacts to killing people.
She really doesn't.
No.
It was so funny. I had a friend. I have the comic book actor, and I said, so in honor of Yelena is back day, I'm just gonna call you by your full name the whole day. And he said, okay, Christopher 164 Patty, and I said, Yelena's back day is over. Oh, we can restart that. Oh my gosh, John is watching Hawkeye for a second time day. Hi, John Lennon. Okay, that day is over. We're done. Was that too nuanced of a joke?
I think it was.
Okay, the
Like,
fact that
maybe it's the
Yelena
way
kept calling Kate.
maybe it's the way you were explaining it to me. I didn't quite get.
It was the fact that Yelena kept calling Kate Bishop.
Oh,
the whole show.
Okay.
Kate Bishop.
It's just fun to say Kate Bishop.
It is. It's like Kate who? Kate Bishop. Oh.
Bishop. You know, what's her comic book name? Who does she play in the comic books?
Maybe New Hawkeye.
No.
Hawkeye.
I know.
I'm putting money down for Hawkeye.
But no, what's her character called? Hawkeye, Hawkette, Lady Hawkeye. Okay. I thought, because the way the last shot of the series was saying, it's like, oh, what cool name should I have?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like zooming out, and it kept a target.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, her name's Target. But then because that's what it made me think. Because they focus so much on the target. It's like, oh, her comic book name is Target. Great. But no, it's Hawkeye. That's why they had the title come out. Because that's typically how they do it. But like, it was so weird why they put the target right there.
I think it was to show that Kate Bishop got her things from her house, and the target was one of them.
I don't think. No, because why would she put it on a tree? We didn't see her do it.
Yeah, they don't show everything, John.
They just arrived. She got out of the car.
Yeah,
they were walking in.
Marvel thinks of amazing things, and they don't do them well.
I'm pretty sure that the target belongs to Clint. I believe we saw that in Endgame.
Okay, let's compare. I'm not going to do it right now, but
No, I'm not going to do it right now, but based on memory, that's what it is. So I'm going to
based
stick
on
to that.
memory, it's the one from her house, not Clint's.
Her house was more paperish.
Was it? I thought it was like wooden
Well, we'll see.
block or stump.
Never. But, yeah, no. To me, her name is now Target.
Okay. I'm still going to call her Kate Bishop.
I mean, I'm still going to call it Kate Bishop, too. Because no one cares if she's called Hawkeye. She's just Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's
Yo,
Hawkeye.
oh,
We don't
bro.
call him Clint Barton.
Great button. Bro, someone at work, you know, we were talking about how excited we were for the finale, and someone at work randomly said, I just hope Clint doesn't die in the finale. And bro, I swear, I was on edge the whole episode just hoping Clint wouldn't die. Just because some stupid friend at work said what if he did? Because usually you think, oh, good guys never die. But because of that, I was on edge that whole finale. Like, oh no, no, no!
It wasn't so much I was concerned that he was gonna die, but it's more so like I was concerned he was gonna die just so we can have him be replaced by Kate Bishop,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. But I'm glad they didn't do that, and we have her joining his family, which
Yeah.
to me is a much better conclusion. It's like, oh, okay, now I'll accept her as the new Hawkeye because of that. Okay, good
And
job.
and also the fact I'm kind of excited to see if we're gonna get some interactions between Kate Bishop and Clint Barton's daughter.
Oh,
Because they had like one shot when they were like sitting
it
together
might be a
talking.
long time to see that, but
It might be 5 years or something, but I'd love
I
to see
can't
that.
wait. Like, I can wait, but it's like, it'd be interesting to see her again in live action. Sorry, in like a movie,
Mm-hmm.
like an Avengers movie. It's like,
Yes.
oh, Kate Bishop, yay!
Kate Bishop. We love Kate Bishop.
We do.
we, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Man, I cannot believe how much I love Kate Bishop.
It's not so much I love her. It's more like
The
I
character.
like she's a good presence on screen. Like
Yeah,
I can't hate her.
exactly.
Like she's
Yeah.
so well done.
I'd like to say it's not that I have a crush on her, it's just she's just a great character.
Yeah, it's like she's so flawed.
Yes, that's another thing.
Like,
Because
oh
like I
yay,
think
she's
about
so
like the
flawed.
first episode, time when she dons the Ronin costume and she's trying to fight, which she does a good job. She's been trained, but she's not experienced, and
I
she like
know.
fails a few times in that first fight, and it makes me so happy.
I like her character more because she's so flawed and just is new to all this and doesn't know everything. Versus if she showed up in this show and she was just awesome the entire way through.
It wouldn't be cool.
It wouldn't be cool. Be like, they're just obviously replacing Hawkeye with this new girl.
And now she has a mentor.
Like,
It makes it
yes,
so much more cool.
it does. But no, back to we were talking about the Watch and the Agents of Shield and how that whole thing. And then that was it.
Yeah. I'm not mad at them for what they did for the post-credit scene. Because
the musical?
I figured that, if you shot it, you have to release it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But
it made sense, because I don't really know what else they could do besides showing
Kingpin.
I
Show
know.
Kingpin. That's
I know.
what you do.
That would appease the... Man, he was such a wimp.
Here's the thing, because like the fans of Kingpin know that Kingpin's not dead.
Like
the
they
noobs don't know, so you have to be like, ha ha ha, Kingpin's not dead.
It's more so like the fans of the comics who know that story know he's not dead. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom's gonna be like, "What? Did I just kill him?"
Yeah, it's
so
like seriously, like Hawkeye isn't a perfect show. It's flawed, but it did a decent job. But the fact that how they mistreated Kingpin this show really defeats the positive qualities of the finale.
Like, the mistreatment of Kingpin is not so much how strong he was or how
Right.
the actor portrayed the character. It's more so
The story.
how the character was set up and how the character was defeated.
It was a weird setup for Kingpin.
And also, like, a weird ending with Maya and him at the end.
Yeah.
Especially, like, him talking to her. It was like, Kingpin wouldn't have done that. Like, I'm pretty sure he would have just been mad and killed her. From the Kingpin I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he was threatened like that, just like, "Rrr!" Because, like, the words that he was saying, like, didn't work for me. Because it just seemed like it seemed like your typical bad guy groveling for his life versus Kingpin wouldn't have done that. He would have been more big about it. Like,
Okay,
demanding.
but also there is the aspect that Kingpin has been Uncle Maya's whole life. So I guess he was hoping that would come into play, I guess. But still. And not to say that I forgive it, it's just to say that's what I think that they were.
It's like, even then, that didn't really show.
It really didn't show.
Because it's like, they could say, like, oh, he's his uncle, but that didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like, if I'm positive that if Marvel has a story to tell, they're not just gonna say, "Oh, we just have Echo and it's gonna be nothing." They have a reason why they have an Echo show, but that's no excuse for essentially only giving half the story in Hawkeye. If you have to, throw in 2 more episodes. You know what I mean?
See, now you're stretching your budget at that point. Because I don't.
Do I care? No, it's Disney.
No. Because I don't think they'll put in more money for that to happen. I think it's like, you have to stretch your budget, which means we have another Loki situation where you have more longer dialogue and not. You're gonna cut some action for that, essentially.
I get that the TV shows are great Twitter publicity, but I really wish that they would just stick to movies. Like, just make a long movie.
So it's not really that. I think that they should stop treating their shows the way they've been treating it.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Because, like, if you were to watch, like, say, the Marvel Netflix shows, they don't do what they've been doing. They don't have those kind of cliffhangers. They do, but they don't.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. I mean, I get it just
like,
the way you're
they're
saying.
not gonna stop the episode because Jack put the sword up to Hawkeye's neck. They're not gonna stop there. They would probably stop with the scene after that, where Hawkeye leaves the house.
Mm.
And it's like, we're not partners and stuff.
You know what was the crazy thing? I guessed what would happen. That mom would come in, and it would be no big deal.
Oh, for that scene?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even think it was going to be a big deal. It's like,
yeah.
The
it
question
was too early for it to be a big
the question was more so, do Jack and Hawkeye know each other? Because they do in the comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they used to be. I think Jack was Hawkeye's mentor in the comics.
Huh.
So, it was whatever. But no, Jack, once again, just pretty much a joke.
Yeah.
Played by an endearing actor. Like, if it was just some other random actor that I'd never cared about before, I wouldn't care as much.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay. But because he was played by an actor I was familiar with, I'd be like, okay, I enjoyed him more because of that. Even though it wasn't that great, but it was just fun to see. So the big henchman, the lieutenant guy, Maya's translator guy.
Yes.
He is also a weird character, and how he was just big at the end of the episode. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put up a fight against Hawkeye. And I was like, what? Like, why is this such a big
Maybe
spaceship?
because of Kingpin?
No.
No.
It's like it was. I think it's because they needed to have another big thing. It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna make that guy a big deal. He's gonna go hand to hand against Hawkeye for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's gonna be killed by Maya for some reason. I don't know. I think he was very poorly handled. How he was the traitor without that really ever being teased or sensed. How I don't know. Again, the finale, man. Your post about the finales, yeah, the Disney Plus shows, so accurate. How the shows are like these big buff doge, and then and then the finale was just like, "Wah."
Yeah.
It's so strange how they just can't stick their landing.
It really is. It's
Which
like
really tells me that there's probably last minute things done with the finales.
yeah.
They really
I mean,
changed
if
it.
it's like what you were saying about WandaVision, how much they cut out, you know.
Also, like WandaVision wasn't finished until like the week before,
Mhm.
essentially.
Loki wasn't finished until probably by the time episode 2 or 3 released. I mean, that's not saying too much in terms of that finale,
It's
but
just like
still.
the entire show just wasn't finished for me, essentially. Um, I haven't finished Falcon and Winter Soldier yet, so I can't say anything about that. This show, I feel like it's mostly finished
Mm-hmm.
with the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop side of things. It's really the villains that I'm not really finished with.
Mm-hmm.
Yelena's writing in the last episode was terrible for me. The whole "you're lying" every time he's trying to tell the truth is like, it's bad writing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this happen so many times where they have
Mm-hmm.
to draw that out.
Okay,
Well, you're
this was
lying.
one thing with the finale that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Because right near the end, all of a sudden there are 3 big fights: Kate versus Kingpin, Maya versus Translator,
Yeah.
and Clint versus Yelena. And they essentially went ahead and told those stories in blocks instead of interlacing them. It just made the timing and pacing weird. I wish they handled that more creatively.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it again tonight, so I have to see what you mean. Um, we'll see. I think they probably should have synced their choreography. Because
That would have been fun.
Arrow and Daredevil, I believe, do this. Where sometimes if they have 2 fights going in the story that they're telling, they will sync their choreography to go from one shot, and then they go to the next shot where they have similar choreography.
That's cool.
Sometimes they'll draw it out because CW, but other times like it can work really well for like a really cool sequence, and that way it's more exciting. You're going back and forth versus we have this segment that's done, this segment that's done, and then this segment that's done. So no, I'm not going to point that out because that's not really important right now. Because then I'll just be nitpicking, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. So, yeah. So, what are you excited for next year?
In terms of releases?
or just in general?
In general, huh? Um. Well, in terms of the movies and shows, I'll say She-Hulk is the show I'm most excited for.
Okay.
And movie is tied between Doctor Strange and Thor. I think I'm going to enjoy Thor more. I'm just really curious what they're going to do with Doctor Strange.
Okay.
In terms of music, there just really isn't. There hasn't been a lot of announcements yet for me to like latch onto something. So that's we'll see how things go. Striper, but I haven't been listening to a lot of that kind of music lately. Maybe Poppy will. Are probably the two ones. Gonna restart YouTube next year, but YouTube and copyright stuff hasn't been easier. It's been harder as far as I've seen since the last time I've uploaded stuff. So that's probably not going to be super fun, but I want to try to get back into that cycle of things. Life, I have 2 job things to see what's going to happen, which hopefully will be sorted out by before summer hits. But either it'll mean my life will stay the way it is for a while, or a few modifications, or something major. We shall see. Don't know yet. Obviously, I'm moving in like 2 weeks, and I'm really excited about that. I can tell you in a moment that someone hacked my Roku.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't think of much else. Music. I hope Blackpink has a comeback. That means nothing to you, but it means something to me because Blackpink didn't release any music this year, and that is very unusual for not just a K-pop group, but the most successful girl K-pop group in existence right now. Their label is nuts. They don't know how to do things right. My gosh.
My gosh, that does sound. I don't know.
I think the worst part is the fact that they're not capitalizing on hype very well because,
Okay.
the last comeback, as they call them, for K-pop was the big deal. So you should capitalize that on, say, a summer release. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I totally get what you mean.
Anyways, I think those are the big things. Yeah. Are there any other things for you that you're excited about outside of releases?
I mean, I've got college to finish.
Yeah.
I'm still working on. Uh, Releases. I don't know what I'm most excited for next year. Maybe the Star Wars content, because I've been waiting a while for them.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I don't even remember what's officially coming out next year. It's gonna be a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan. Oh yeah, it is this year. Okay, well that's coming. Movies. I'm still deciding.
Are they having another season of Bad Batch, or was that just a 1 season thing?
I think they're doing another season.
Okay.
I think so. It makes sense to do another season.
I'd be surprised if it's just a 1 season. I don't know anything about it, but it just seems weird to just do 1 season.
Because I think that's the show that they want to do.
Mm.
Like, that's the animated show they wanted to do. I watched Star Wars Visions, the anime Star Wars.
Oh, how is that?
I enjoyed half of them.
Okay.
Like,
Were they essentially like an anime What If?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. None of it was canon. None of it had any bearing or influence on the Star Wars universe at all.
Okay.
But they were nice perspectives.
Okay.
One of them was just really unfinished. One of them was really cool, and I want to see. I really want to see more of that storyline. So yeah, I mean, they're neat.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind seeing more, but Yeah, that's what they did. Wasn't anything jaw-dropping, but it was nice. Okay, is there anything else we want to talk about here before we close off for this year?
Should we talk about my Roku story? Because that's the last thing I got. Or do you want to do that offline?
Let's do that offline.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
In that case, thank you guys for watching, listening, and then we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Next season!
Yes!